Hi everyone, welcome back to the Mixed Concepts channel. I know it's been some time since I've posted my previous video, I think at least 3 weeks. Yeah, I've been busy in life with a job. Anyway, why I'm making this video again is to talk about the MLC 2025. I know the tournament is not over and there's still a few playoff games left. But yeah, qualifier 1 was yesterday. So the eliminator is not done by the time I'm recording this video. Maybe when I post it, I'm hopefully gonna post it before the eliminator starts. But if not, then yeah, at least I don't know who's won between MI New York and San Francisco Unicorns in the eliminator. Yeah, yesterday's qualifier 1 game between Washington Freedom and Texas Super Kings got washed out, and Washington Freedom went to the final because they ended at number 1 on the points table. And due to the recent flash floods in Texas, I'm not sure if any games will happen. I really hope that the games will happen and there won't be any washouts, any more washouts rather, because there's already been one. But if all the games are washed out, then Washington Freedom will actually win the MLC again because they ended up in the top of the table. And San Francisco Unicorns will be really disappointed because had they beat LA Knight Riders, they would have been on top of the table, but they lost their last group game against LA Knight Riders in a very high scoring thriller. But at the same time, they kind of deserved it because they lost that game. You gave 243 runs and 19 overs. Yes, you came really close, but still they didn't win. Yeah, to sum up the MLC real quick with the 6 teams. Yeah, Washington Freedom, they're just too consistent, aren't they? They know how to win close games, and they're just really good as a team. San Francisco Unicorns, they won 6 for 6, but then they've only won 1 in their last 4 games. They've been a little inconsistent, so that's why they're in 3rd position. Texas were a little more consistent, even though they had the same number of points as San Francisco Unicorns. But the Texas Super Kings, they won games a little more frequently. They didn't have like a crazy win streak and then lose a lot. I think they did win 3 to start and then they lost 2. But then they've won in the last 5 games they played, they won 4. So they showed that they were consistent. New York did qualify in 4th position despite only winning 3 games out of 10. Because that shows that in the MLC you just need to be in the top 4 to make the playoffs. And yeah, New York, they only won 3 games, but they did beat LA Knight Riders twice, and they beat Seattle once, and that was enough to get them into the playoffs because they did not lose their games terribly. Yeah, their margin was not that high compared to Seattle. Seattle did win 3 games thanks to Hetmeyer. He was really the hero for Seattle why they won those 3 games, but yeah, they were no good. And the worst team is obviously LA Knight Riders. They only won 2 games. And I mean, it's safe to say at this point, as of right now, they're really the disgrace of the Major League Cricket tournament. They've never made the playoffs even once. They're the only team who's never made the playoffs, at least once, in 3 seasons. And they've just been a disappointment every single season. So that's pretty much how to sum up the 6 teams in a couple minutes. Yeah, I'm making this video just in case because I'm not sure how the situation in Texas is. I know the flash floods occurred, and rest in peace to all the people who lost their lives. That's very unfortunate. But yeah, I'm hoping that cricket will still happen. But if that's not the case, then yeah, it's a bit of a disappointing way to end a tournament, which was pretty nice. It was a really good tournament, but it'll be really disappointing for it to end the way if the playoffs don't even happen because of rain and just washes out and Washington Freedom end up being the winners. Well, it is what it is. If that happens, then that happens. It's not much to say. However, earlier today, so just a few hours back by the time I'm recording this video, Italy beat Scotland in the men's T20 World Cup qualifying Europe. That is an upset right there. Italy beat Scotland, and they are pretty much in the World Cup for next year. I know there is a mathematical chance that they still can't make it with the net run rate, but Scotland will be really disappointed to have lost to Italy. They beat Netherlands, but they lost to Italy. You know, had they lost to Netherlands, Italy would probably have made it, and the Netherlands, well, they would be in a better situation than they are now. I mean, they're playing against Guernsey right now, and I assume they go on to win. That game is going on right now as they're speaking, or as I'm speaking, rather. Yeah, right now as I'm speaking, the game's going on, so there is something to change potentially, but I assume Netherlands should go on to win. Yeah, the game between Scotland and Jersey, that's a do or die game all of a sudden, because whoever wins will at least have a chance to move on to the T20 World Cup next year. And the Netherlands, obviously, assuming they beat Guernsey, they'll have to beat Italy. Otherwise, if Italy wins again against the Dutch, they're going to make it for sure. Well, that is a story, isn't it? Italy making it to the T20 World Cup next year. Well, that's good for them. It'll be nice to see a new team, a new country in the T20 World Cup. We saw Uganda last year in 2024. Why not see Italy in 2026? Yeah, but if Scotland don't make it, I'll feel really sorry for them. They really could have made it to the Super 8s last T20 World Cup in 2024. You know, if rain didn't screw them over against England, because England needed to chase over 110 overs. You never know, they probably could have won that game. They beat Oman and Namibia. And then against Australia, they lost in the last over, which was kind of heartbreaking for Scotland. So they played really well as a team, but they were unable to make it to the Super 8 stage. And that's why they're in this qualifier. And, well, after losing to Italy, it clearly shows why such qualifiers are really, really tricky. Because when you're considered a favorite, you're expected to win the qualifier and make it to the World Cup. But sometimes with other teams rising, you can expect upsets like this to happen. And that's why these qualifiers are really tricky. And don't want to be a part of it. Ideally, you just want to make the World Cup next time when you got the chance. Absolutely. Well, yeah, I did want to mention that real quick about the qualifier going on in Europe for next year's Men's T20 World Cup in 2026. I know I mainly made this MLC based as a USA cricket fan, but I also wanted to mention the tournament going on in Europe. And yeah, the MLC, it's been good this year, but I mean, it could have a disappointing ending considering the weather in Texas. But I really hope that it gets better and we get to see every game from now on, the Eliminator, Qualifier 2, and the final. I'm really hoping that the games do not wash out. We get a result, and may the best team go on to win. That's what I hope for. Anyway, that'll be the end of this video. Just wanted to have a quick chat about the MLC and wanted to mention Italy beating Scotland because that is something to really talk about. That'll be the end of this video. That'll be the end of this video. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content. Hopefully I'll post more often. And until the next video, bye.